Hi, sis. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know if you were there or not. Well, welcome
Um,
everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Truth Now Talk Show. We are live on Hot 702.5 FM on your radio dial in Las Vegas, Nevada. How are you doing, sis?
I am good, sis. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Feeling a little bit better, getting some of these boxes out the way with this move and all. But yeah, I'm slowly getting settled in. Everything is great. How's it that back there in your camp?
Oh, everything is good. Just a little busy, 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 busy. That's working on some
Okay.
projects. I'm trying to get completed. So I've been busy working, doing personal business, and just busy as a bumblebee. That's just a story of my life, but it's enjoyable.
Well,
So
that's a
I'm
good
just busy.
thing, sis.
I may be a little out of it because I'm just in a whole nother mood right now. So just bear with me today, guys. I will come around because the show must go on.
Well, we will bear with you. I'm excited today. I want to welcome all our Hot 702.5 and the Truth Now show talk with Antonita and my. I want to welcome all our listeners in this beautiful Saturday. How's everybody doing? I hope all is well. I hope everybody is staying safe, staying healthy, and staying out the way because that's what I'm doing. I'm excited this Saturday
Mhm.
because we have a special guest, sis, and I'm gonna give you a little backstory on how I met this young man. So, as you guys know, I have moved. Well, I don't know if all of them know, but I have moved. I have actually relocated. I am officially announcing my relocation now. I am no longer in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am actually in Arizona. So, I have been since my move has been trying to find a lot of black owned businesses and attend a lot of black owned functions and get some connections and things, excuse me, and start to get some connections wherever I go. And you know me, sis, I'm all about empowerment of our people and supporting black owned businesses. And I was out and about doing some shopping, and I met this really special young man. And I was so impressed with our conversation, with meeting him, and I also actually met his beautiful young queen. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this young man, and then I'll go into more into the story on how we met. So I met this young man named Charles Jackson, right? He goes by the name of CJ. So Charles CJ Jackson. He is originally from Syracuse, New York. He is the son of a single parent mother of six. He grew up in an impoverished community where he was forced to grow up fast. He moved from New York to Florida at the age of 16. Getting away from New York saved his life, he says. After 2 years of junior college, he joined the armed forces, which is the Army. He obtained the rank of sergeant staff, but decided to leave the military due to what I experienced in Iraq. And sis, a you are a veteran as well, so you can definitely go into more depth with him on that in that conversation because I'm pretty sure you can relate to that. After the military, he worked primarily as a Department of Defense contractor overseas for approximately 8 years. After returning to America, he tried to fit in corporate America but didn't quite fit in. In 2019, he had a vision to create Spot Barber Lounge. He wanted to create authentic relationships with the community as well as build an employment culture second to none. With hard work and exceptional customer service, he planned to open his second location in late 2021 beyond Arizona. The Spot Barber Lounge will be a national brand. And he said more info if I'm interested, and I'm definitely interested because I want to talk to him about this little sidebar that he sent me. And because I believe that his conversation with us is going to shed some light on a lot of things regarding young Black men and women growing up in impoverished neighborhoods and communities all around the world. And just to talk to him about what he's doing now and being an inspiration as a young entrepreneurship. So he says he was arrested in 2007 for 3 drug-related offenses. That's what ultimately changed his life, he says. I can't discuss the specifics of the case, but can discuss how adversity helped him grow and focus. So he's going to be coming on shortly, and I wanted to give you guys a little background of his bio and to tell you, actually, I actually met him doing some shopping in the mini mall that's close to my home, and I had just got through telling my girlfriend I needed to find a black owned barber shop and a black owned beauty supply store where I can go and get my hair cut and go and get my beauty supplies and things like that. And it's my understanding that they are few and far between here in Arizona. But luckily for me, I was out shopping. I'm walking around and I see a bunch of young men and women standing outside in front of this area. And I saw, and it said grand opening barbershop. And I said, okay. I said, let me check it out. It's close to home. And I walk up, and as I'm walking up, they're looking at me. I'm looking at them, and I say, okay, these my people. I ain't scared. So I walked up and I said, is this barber shop open? And they said, yes. I said, do you know who the owner is? And he said, I am. I'm the owner, man. He's with his deep voice. He was standing right out there. And he introduced himself, told me his name was CJ. And he said it was his shop, and he had only been open for about 3 weeks. And I said, you don't know how happy I am to see you. I said, I was just speaking on finding a black barbershop here in Arizona. And I said, and a black beauty supply store. And then his girlfriend said, look no further. Right next door to him, the barbershop is the black owned beauty supply store by his beautiful queen. And I was so impressed with that. And I thought that was the most wonderful thing. I just immediately said, well, I'm coming back to get my haircut tomorrow, in which I did. Came back and got my haircut, and y'all can see it looking good. I like the way my new barber cut my hair, so I'm very impressed. Shout out to my new barber. And I said, well, I'm definitely going to be patronizing your business. I went over to his girlfriend's beauty supply store, and I told her the things that I like, for my hair. I says, look, if you get these things in your store, I will purchase them for you, from you. I would support you. And I want to interview her too, because she's a Chicago girl. She's our home girl. She's originally from Chicago. He's originally from New York. So, and I thought that they were just the most wonderful couple. And it just showed me, I was proud in a way, because it showed me young empowerment and how it is to be young and to aspire to be an entrepreneur. So I was impressed with that. I talked a lot with him and his young lady, and he's in here now. Speaking of him, so without further ado, sis, I want to introduce to you Mr. Charles C.J. Jackson, the owner of the Spot Barber Lounge in Chandler, Arizona, y'all. Give it up for this young king. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you
Yes, give
all?
it up for you. Good,
Thank you.
good.
Thank
Welcome,
you
It's
for
Mr.
having me.
Chandler. Welcome,
so
Mr.
this
Chandler. This is Antonita Lachey. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Is my camera on? Can you all see me okay?
we can see
Yes, I
you
see
okay.
you.
Cut your
I can see
volume
you.
up though. Cut your
Okay.
volume up.
Sure.
Yeah, cut your volume up a little bit.
Okay.
But we
How's
want
that?
to welcome you. We want to welcome you to the Truth Now talk show with yours truly, Patrice Moncel, and my hostess with the mostest partner, Antonita Lachey Brown. And we have this talk show for a reason, for people like you. We are inspired by our community. We are inspired by our black people and what they're doing. And I told them already how we met, and I read your bio. So I just want you to introduce yourself and tell our listeners a little bit about who CJ is before we get into the questions.
Okay. Hello again, everybody. And I'm humble and appreciative for the opportunity to be here in front of everyone. Who is CJ? I would say if I'm in a book, I'm probably at chapter 10, still trying to figure out who I am at the age of 43. I'm a person that's lived a crazy life, but very blessed life. I am still trying to figure life out as it goes. I'm hungry. I'm humble. I don't believe in having a plan B. I definitely believe in enforcing a plan A. Right now, I'm here live at the barbershop right now, just trying to make it work in the community. Really trying to build community relationships. A lot of times when you go on the barbershops, you get the cold shoulder. You don't get treated with respect. Sometimes it's our barbershops. I hate to say that, but it's true. I
Sure.
did some market
Mhm.
research prior to setting this up, and me and my family would just go into barbershops and we'd wait maybe 5 to 10 minutes to see if we're greeted, treated with respect, or even recognized. A lot of that is missing. So I just thought adding that personal touch of providing exceptional customer service is something that we really needed. So I'm a
Absolutely.
Oh,
person.
great.
Yes,
Absolutely. So I have a
yes,
question for you,
yes.
Mr. Jack CJ. Can I call you CJ?
Call me CJ, please.
Okay, I have a question for you. You said you opened up a barbershop, so you opened it up during this pandemic, and we very well know that, I applaud your efforts in doing that during the pandemic because, for a while they had the barbershops, they had a lot of these businesses closed. I just wanted to know what why you decided to open up a barbershop, or that you have a experience in cutting hair, or you just thought that that would be the ultimate great business for you.
That's a great question.
Okay.
So I'll just take it back to 2019 when I got the vision. I was working
Okay.
full time as a mortgage servicing manager. And after being in the military and experiencing life, I really saw that there was a problem with me working in corporate America. One of the
Mm,
things is they don't really take care of people. The attrition rates are high, meaning people are getting hired and fired. They really focus on the customers, but not on the employees. So I always said if I ever wanted to have something of my own, I wanted to make sure that we take care of our employees first and then take care of the community or wherever we're servicing. So that's the first thing. I actually got this space, this beautiful space that took a lot of work and a lot of money in March of
Hmm.
2019. So this is prior to COVID. I didn't know that COVID was going to happen. But based on the reconstruction, the demolition, all the work we had to put in, we didn't finish initial construction until late 2019. So when
Okay.
2020 came around, we were going to launch in March or April of last year. Then COVID hit. So I was in a position where I was like, wow, this is crazy. So what I did is I got better. I started reading about, COVID and kind of understanding a little bit about the program. And we just made our shop compliant to whatever COVID was going to throw at us. In the state of Arizona, you have to have a barber within 6 feet of a sink. Well, at our shop, we have every barber has their own sink. It's a little different.
Hmm.
It has a very different vibe to it. So we were able to really just kind of sit back during COVID and improve and just get prepared. So right next to us, there's a place called Harbor Freight. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. They're a pretty large, organization. They open 100 stores a year. I found out that they were going to be opening up March 6th. So I said, well, wait a minute. This is perfect. They're a national brand. They're a brand that's recognized locally as well. Let's just kind of piggyback off of their opening and open a few weeks prior to that. So I do believe that if you're afraid to get into any kind of business or afraid to make mistakes, you shouldn't get into business. You should work a 9 to 5. I totally
Exactly.
believe, despite COVID or anything that's thrown at us, even now, we're going to succeed and
Hmm.
we're going to do a good job. That's the goal.
I agree totally.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
We need to realize as people that as Black people, because I know we push so hard, and don't get me wrong, don't misinterpret that. We push so hard, education, education, education on our
Right.
children. We push get that college degree so you can go to work for a company and get a great job and have a great life and retire and this and that, and then you realize because I had a friend told me that she realized that her one of her sons, and this person is a CEO of a corporation, and she pushed so hard for her children to get that education, get that degree, but she realized one of her sons was not college material, and everybody is not college material, and that
Correct.
should not be forced on their child. Everybody is not military material. Everybody is not corporate America, if you will, material. So what are some alternatives to that? Entrepreneurship,
Right.
entrepreneurship. And I think that our culture needs to push entrepreneurship more on our children, even if they want to go to school and get that business degree, the master's degree and whatever, or the PhD degree. But still, I think that we need to push entrepreneurship mostly on the Black community, because for look at all the things that's happening with the Black community, of how you can't live or work in certain areas, especially work in corporate America, especially with your hairstyle that you have right now, CJ. We've been getting so
Right.
much backlash from things like that. They don't want you to wear dreads. They have problems with women wearing their natural hair, and I find it difficult for young African American men and women to fit in that culture. The ones that are growing up now. So when I saw CJ's shop, and I told you I was very impressed. The shop is super bad. I was very impressed with everything I saw. He was very warm and friendly and inviting. I met his lady, and my new barber now. Shout out to him, and the staff, and they were warm and welcoming and inviting, and I it made me feel good and comfortable. And I told him I will be
Mhm.
back the next day to get my hair cut, and I came back and he serviced me. I got a discount, and the rest is history. And I told him, I said, I really want to interview you because more young people need to see people that look like you and doing what you're doing, what your story is about. So my question is for you. Tell us a little bit about growing up with a single mom, having siblings, growing up in an impoverished neighborhood, getting your way out of that, getting into the service. Just kind of walk us through that.
Okay. Before I do that, I want to just touch on something you said. If you really
Sure.
think about social control, it has everything to do with the American dream. So if you go to school, you work a 9 to 5, you fit under the realm of corporate
The
America.
American.
Like you said, we got to change that. Corporate
Yep.
America is whatever we make it, because we're natural leaders. We are entrepreneurs at birth, a lot of us. So it's really important to
Mhm.
push that envelope.
Mhm.
I just wanted to say that.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, you
But to
I
answer,
agree
absolutely
with
right.
you.
oh,
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Hmm.
I
Yes.
agree.
But to answer your question, growing up, oh man, it was tough. It was tough. I grew up in Syracuse, New York. A lot of people may not know about that place, but the poverty levels for African Americans, I want to say it's around 45% as of 2019. For Hispanics, it's 54%. There's
Oh
not a lot
wow.
of opportunities. And I grew up in the crack era. So you can imagine
Mm.
back in the 80s, crack hit
Yes.
my community pretty hard. You know,
Yeah.
it affected my immediate family as well.
Oh
So we were able to see and identify a lot of things. I knew that I wanted to make money. I did whatever I could, young, trying to survive. But I knew that I didn't want to be one of those people that I saw that was affected by the drug epidemic. You know,
right.
my mother, single parent, always pushing for education, trying to strive. It was hard for her. I remember, how you have nosy neighbors. My mom would be out trying to work a job, leave her kids at home, and you got the neighbors calling saying that she's out partying, she's out getting her education. By the way, she's got 4 degrees now, including a master's from Syracuse University.
Oh,
Wonderful.
So
great.
she did. Thank you.
Wonderful.
She did well for herself. But at the end of the day, just watching her struggle, not having a father figure in the house, learning things from other people, it really kind of shaped and molded me. I made a lot of mistakes, but I always had, my eyes on a goal of getting out of Syracuse and becoming something better than that.
That's wonderful. And that journey took you to Florida. And at what point did you go into the service?
Okay, good question. So I left New York at the age of 16. and I got to Florida in 19. Well, I won't tell you the year. So I got to Florida when I got to Florida. But when I got down there, I was 16. So I finished up my junior year of high school, and then I finished up my senior year. And then I went to junior college for 2 years and joined the military out of Florida. So that was, I'll
Okay.
just tell you, it was
Oh,
back in
okay.
1997. Yes.
Oh, okay. So, CJ, I am a military veteran too. Go Army, ho, ho.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
So, thank you for your service too. And I understand your background very well, coming up from an impoverished neighborhood, wanting the best for yourself. That's always been something for me as a young woman, as a little girl. I've always tried to be the best that I can be. Born and raised in the projects of Argyle Gardens as a young girl, you didn't see a lot of leadership. You didn't see a lot of entrepreneurs either growing up. So, but I've always been one, and my grandmother always told me, because that's who raised me. She always said you was a different type of kid, because I would always come up with ideas very young, of trying to make money at like 9 and 10 years old, trying to create businesses. So we started a business early on with my grandmother. We started baking. Now I used to bake. I don't bake anymore. I'm starting to get back into that a little bit. But we started baking.
You
We
gotta send some
started
stuff
cooking.
down.
She had her own. Yeah, she had her own church. So I was like, Ma, you can sell this stuff, and we could put it in a church. We could put it in a community, and then that started her into creating a business. Mind you, I was a little young, so we really couldn't do it. So we needed that adult supervision to kind of guide us through that. So I do understand you when you said, and like Patrice was saying earlier about education, going out, getting
Yes.
your education, finding out that you want to be in a workplace. Then you get there and you realize this isn't for me, no matter how many degrees you have. And then you say to yourself, entrepreneurs, where's that? Mind you,
Right.
I work a full job. I am an entrepreneur. I work for the government. I do my job. I do my multiple businesses outside. I'm on this radio show. So people have always told me you do a lot of stuff, which I do. And I was in the military, quit my job, went into the military. I didn't join the military till I was like 30 years old,
Oh wow.
because I had my family. I was married. I was already established. And so, as you know, when I got in the military, they told me, why are you here? Why are you here? Because you already had a career. You already had a job. I said, because I had my kids at like 20, 21, I couldn't join the military then. So I wait till they got a little older. And it's just something that hit me while I was at work and said, I want to join the military. I'm going to finally do it. So I did it. And I think it was one of the best decisions that I ever made doing that. If I can turn back the hands of time, I would do it again. I would, because that part of my life, it helped me. It helped me to be the person that I am, and giving back, helping people, it creates a different type of character for some of us. Some of us can't adapt to the military life. And, as a vet, being in war-torn countries, seeing what's happening, it could be a little frustrating and daunting for us when we come back to the civilian life.
Most
Tell
definitely.
us about that experience with you, CJ, your military
Mhm.
experience and your Iraq experience, and what was being in the military like for you?
Oh wow, that's a great question. I would say it's probably split in two. I went in 1997, and in 97, it was about partying, traveling, having a good time. We had a war that just finished up in 1991, Desert Storm, Desert Shield. But then 9/11 hit, and at the time I was a young sergeant. I was what, 24 years old at the time. We didn't train to be prepared for war. Once 9/11 hit, the military changed totally.
Right.
I was in aviation, so you had people from aviation. I've got pictures of myself. I remember going to Baghdad, riding on the back of a
Mhm.
truck that didn't have any armor. We had sandbags protecting us. We're open. It changed. One of the things that I remember was feeling like I was trapped. I've seen
Mhm.
people getting killed, We had losses. I actually deployed with a scout unit, so we were in the middle of a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember just feeling like, man, if I wanted to run away or get out of here and go back to my family, I can't. I'm stuck.
Right.
Feeling like that really, really, really bothered me. You know, everything that I wanted
Mhm.
in the military, because I was a fast tracker. I was one of those guys that wanted to make rank fast, and I went to B knock
Yeah.
before I got deployed. To make E6, to make staff sergeant.
Mhm.
Um, but after the war and everything, it changed my perception of the military. The other thing is, I know I shouldn't say this, but we got sold an idea that there were things, not to be political, but we got sold an idea that there were things that we needed to correct in another country. We get over there, they
Oh
greet
yeah.
us with love. You know, they
Mhm.
treat us with
Mm.
respect. Especially the
Yeah.
African American community is right next to Africa. If you look at the neighboring countries, I sat with
Right.
Yeah.
sheikhs, there's the elder men of the villages, and they talked about how Muhammad
Mhm.
Ali and other black prominent, people came to Iraq to do things, and they loved them. So
Yeah.
my perception was different. I couldn't imagine going through that, and I thought about slavery, quite honestly.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
transition out
Yeah.
of the military, it was rough. I remember us leaving Iraq. We flew into Maine. You had some people
Mhm.
protesting us and some people applauding us.
Hmm.
And the crazy thing is, I remember driving my car a few days after I got redeployed. I got stopped by the police, and they actually searched my car for weapons and asked me if I was a terrorist. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
wow.
you think about
Wow.
this, you go overseas, you feel like a hero, and you come back to get
Come
welcomed.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me
Absolutely.
a lot of that
Absolutely.
movie, like Black Presidents. You had these black men that were deploying, they were fighting for their country, they had a lot of
Mhm.
pride, a lot of dignity.
Mhm.
They came back to America and they didn't have opportunities.
Yeah.
So
Nope.
it was
Nope.
tough. It's a very tough transition. I equate leaving the military a little bit to like people being incarcerated and leaving, a
Yes. Exactly.
institutionalized
Yes.
fabric of life, and then you got to come back out and re-socialize and try to make something of yourself. Some people that are in the military, their jobs don't transfer
Mhm.
to civilian life.
Right.
If you're
No.
a door gunner
No.
or an infantryman, are you going to go sit in a call
Mhm.
center and take calls? No, it's not
Right.
practical.
Right. Right.
So a lot of those people, they get into violence, they get into the streets, they get into drugs
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
that is more accepting than trying to become something that they have been built not to be. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
my
And
transition
that's
was
I
yes, I'm
kind of,
sorry.
yeah, I kind of understand that because I can remember, and I know you can, CJ, the processing when you're processing into the military. I don't know. I was arrested before. I was arrested for a little altercation I had, and I'm gonna tell you, the jail processing is the same like the military processing.
Like MEPS. It's like
When you
MEPS.
go, it's just like MEPS. It's the same processing.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mean, I felt like when I sat in there, and I swear to you, I was like, wow, this is the same experience I experienced when I went into the military.
Correct.
So I was like, oh, I can, and this is the sad part about it. I was like, oh, I can handle it. I can deal with this. I can handle this because I was just recently in the military. I had just got out, then I got arrested for this little situation. It was like a weekend. I was like, oh, I can deal with this because again, you said the institutionalized. We're being institutionalized. So if you are already institutionalized from a military or being in a group home or being in a party home or any type of situation, and you go back and revisit that in the military, for some people, it was new to them, doing that. But it was the same type of
Same
processing.
thing. Same
I
thing.
think that that's what that's where our government has failed veterans so bad
Mhm.
when it comes to that
Yeah.
transition of coming back to civilian life. It's just not enough being
Mm-mm.
poured into our veterans. It's not enough economically, the jobs, the finance. Me personally, I agree with one thing that Bruce Willis said. He said, anybody that has served their country, especially have went and fought in wars, when they come home, they should automatically not have to worry about nowhere to live ever have
Right.
to worry about eating, a roof over their heads, and they all should be given $1 million apiece when they come home. He said,
I
he
agree.
really
Appreciate
said
that.
that. He said that, and I agree because why is it
Sis,
that
you have no clue. You have no
the
clue.
people that do the most and suffer the most for their
Get the
country
lead.
or get the least? I
Listen,
Yeah.
never understood that. And to watch a lot of our men and women that served so honorably for this country, and to see some of them homeless on the streets, having mental illness problems, it really bothers me to see that because it just lets me know how much our government is failing our people. So when I see
Yeah.
people like CJ, that said, I served my country, I immediately said, thank you, thank you for serving our country. Because I've never served. I can't even imagine what type of mindset, that had to be an experience for both of you, especially being a black man and a black woman in the military. I know that we were never treated fairly for the most part in a lot of the military branches, stemming back all the way from the civil wars and so forth, for how they treated us back then. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
come a long way, but there's still more work to be done. And that
Hmm.
brings me to how many years did you serve in tours did you serve, CJ?
so another great question. So I did 6.5 years active. So I went in May of '97, and I actually ended my time in service in December of 2003. But I
Oh,
got the
okay. Before I.
opportunity to work for the Department of Defense. I worked for a company called Blackwater. I worked for a company called ESP Mantech. I was able to go overseas, and I worked for about 8 years overseas as a government contractor. And believe it or not, I probably saw more action as a
As a
contractor than I did
contractor.
as a
Hmm.
yes, as I did in
Yeah.
the military. You know, especially
Hmm.
Oh
working for
wow.
Blackwater. It was
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
So
because
after your
as a contractor, you are loosey goosey. You're out there. You're more, we're more confined when we're there. They have us doing our special units and we're doing our special details and our special workloads. As when you're a contractor, you can get to see more. You're like you're out there more than what
Yes.
we saw some things, but you see different things because you're free to roam and go about your business. Although you still have to be safe in doing so. But yeah, it's a totally different situation. You're not like trapped. Like you said, you felt trapped more so.
It's different. I'll tell you something that I didn't mention on my biography is people that are watching this that know me, they know that based on my situation with the law back in 2007, it changed my mindset, changed my focus, So I knew that I wanted to make money and be able to take care of myself, on a good scale. But what I was able to do was I actually opened a company that I operated and owned in Baghdad, Iraq, for about 2 years. One
Oh
of my
wow.
contracts was actually
Okay.
$1.3 million. I
Awesome.
Oh wow.
won over 40 contracts, some of them smaller, but over 40 contracts in a 2 year period, by myself. And that's a whole nother show that I'd have to come back
Wow.
for.
Yeah, that's
Oh
amazing.
wow. Great.
That's amazing. Now
That's amazing.
you spoke very briefly on your stint with law enforcement and your arrest in 2007. You care to talk a little bit more about that, because I really want our young kings and queens out there to really listen to what you have to say about your experience, and for them to know that sometimes, no matter if you make a mistake, you can come back from that. It doesn't always have to be gloom
Right.
and doom for you because you make mistakes, and
Right.
you come back from that. So kind of tell us a little bit about your arrest in 2007 and your experience with the law.
Okay. And I do apologize. I can't get into specifics, but I'll give you a
Right.
Right.
Of
general
course. Of
overview
course.
of it.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
I was in a situation back to corporate America where I was mistreated, and instead of making a great decision, I made a bad decision.
Okay.
I wanted to. So I'll just be blunt with you. Sell drugs is a form of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Um, I approached it, in a way that I probably shouldn't have. Thinking back, but I don't regret it because I wouldn't be sitting here now if I didn't go through that experience. I was initially charged with possession, intent to distribute, and drug trafficking. Based
Mm.
on God or some higher power, two of those charges got knocked off, and I got the one charge. The one charge allowed me the opportunity to bond out. Since I was out of state, I paid 20% of the bond, which was $7,500. I got out and I severed all of my relationships that I had in the street. I went from having, in 2007, I went from having about $150,000 liquid cash to December of 2007. I was putting quarters in my gas tank. I didn't have any money. I ran out of
Oh
money.
wow.
When I got
Wow.
arrested, they took what I had. There's assets that I was able to keep, obviously, but with me leveraging and stopping those relationships, I basically lost everything. I made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to do anything like that again. It scared me.
Absolutely.
When you're
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
looking at getting 15 to 20 years, in prison, for something that, to be quite honest with you, I was in a depression.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't really care, and it passed a message to the youth that may be watching this or older men that are watching this.
Please
The
do.
stuff that you see on TV, they try to sensationalize and fabricate the drug life and prison. You don't want to go
Hmm.
through that.
No.
For one reason, you have loved ones that are going to miss you that you probably need to take care of. Number two, once you get in the system, you lose your freedom. You lose your freedom. You don't get a chance to vote. You may not be able to get an apartment. You may not even get accepted into a school, let alone work a job. So now
Yeah.
you're reduced back to minimal opportunities to really be successful if that's what you truly want, you know. So it's not worth it. Sometimes a slow nickel will last you longer than a fast dime, you know. If
Say
you've
Exactly.
got
that.
an opportunity,
Exactly.
if you've
Say
got an
that.
opportunity to make some quick money, you should probably walk away
Don't
from
do
it. Take the longer
it.
road.
Hmm.
No, this is a journey. It's not a race. So just be careful out there, kings and queens. It's not what it's cracked up to be. And by
And
the
that's
way,
the
the people.
thing.
I can.
Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
understand.
Go ahead.
I can
Oh, I was just
go
gonna
ahead.
tell
Yeah.
you, and the very people that you risk your life for will be the same ones in court telling on you. So
Mm.
Yes.
what is it worth?
Yes.
The streets
Yes.
is a
Say
med.
that loud enough for the people in the back can hear. Say it again.
The people that you were with, that you risk your life for, will be the same ones writing statements about you. So be very cautious. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Try to do the right
I
thing. Don't get involved in that stuff because it's not worth it.
exactly.
It's not worth
Exactly.
it.
I say that all the time. I say that all the time. I've always been an advocate, and I was a bad girl. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stand by what I do. When you incorporate other people into your mess, you're
Yes.
creating witnesses. You are taking
Yes.
witnesses with you when you're doing something, because who can you depend on more than anyone else is yourself. So
Yourself.
your word over anyone's word, because you don't have nobody to tell you or to say, well, he or she did XYZ. And let me ask you something, because you said something about that. I'm just curious, and I know you don't want to get into the personal.
Okay.
Did that affect you in any way with the military benefits that are offered to veterans? Are you affected by that because of your being convicted or whatever the case may be?
Oh, so I wasn't convicted. I was charged, which I can't get
Okay,
into
sorry. Okay.
details.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
still something that, and this is a testimony. Anybody watching this, I'm not gloating. I'm not bragging. If you know me, you know that it's something that I still deal with. It's not over.
Hmm.
I'm an
Okay.
entrepreneur. I'm doing the right things. I'm walking the right way. I'm trying hard, to do things the right way, but it's still something that I deal with. But your question, I'm sorry, I missed. I'll start talking again. You got to forgive me. Oh, did I mess with my
About,
benefits? Oh, so no, I
okay.
didn't. I'm actually
Okay,
100%
great.
disabled from the military.
Uh, okay.
And a lot of it, like I said, is depression. I was, diagnosed
Mhm.
with post-traumatic stress disorder,
I'm
um,
sure.
anxiety, and depression. So,
Yeah.
it just
Yep.
depends. I don't think unless you're committing or commissioning a crime on the military quarters, government quarters, I think you
Yeah,
might be okay. You know, I'm not advocating for anybody to do anything wrong that has military benefits.
right.
Don't do it. But me
Right,
Yeah.
personally,
exactly.
I've been blessed.
But you
I'm
know
okay.
what? And to piggyback on what you said, because there were crimes committed in the military by some of our fellow personnel, and
Yeah.
they got away with a lot of stuff, a lot of crimes. You know, I have my girlfriend, she works in legal in the military, and she tells me about a lot of stories that have happened with, some of these people should have been convicted and thrown
Yeah.
out in court martial, but they
Mhm.
don't. So it all depends on what the crime is. Like you said, you're not convicted, that won't affect it. Because I don't know. I just was curious to ask, because these are things, like you said, CJ, the military don't tell you. They don't let you know that there are benefits out there, like as a vet, like you can go to the VA. A lot
Right.
of vets out here don't even know those opportunities exist. And I meet
Right.
people on a day-to-day basis that when they tell them, oh, you wasn't in long enough, or you didn't have this, and I'm an advocate for that, because if I see that you are awarded or need to get your benefits, then get out there and get your benefits. Get what you
Right.
deserve. And a lot of
Yeah.
us don't know that. They
That's
don't
right.
know that. And I have helped many people obtain their benefits, be it go to the doctor or go wherever, because it's there for you. And a
Yes.
lot of people don't utilize it.
Correct. I've seen that
So
too.
that
I
Hmm.
was a product of that myself. I got out in 2003. I didn't start reaping the benefits of my service until 2018. So
oh
I
even I
wow.
didn't
know.
have the information. And I saw
Me too.
people, I'm hearing stuff. I actually had friends of
Yeah.
mine, if you're watching, you know who you are, that were trying to
Mhm.
charge me money to help me get my disability claim in, which is something that you don't want to do
Oh
either.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So I was one of those people also. So for you doing that for
Yeah.
people, I appreciate you as well. You know, I try to do the same thing as
Yeah.
far as helping people out and get information about benefits.
Well, this is
Hmm.
the thing when we were talking earlier about that, that life and the mistake that you made, because I wanted young people to see a young face, to see a young king, to know that there is a better way, and you are a part of that community. You are a part of that hope. And I was so impressed by you. That's why I had to have you on here as a guest. And because other young people need to see other young people that look like them every day, to know
Yes.
that it doesn't matter if you made a mistake,
Hmm.
you can pick yourself up from that, dust yourself off, and start over again. And you did
Right.
that. And
Yeah.
also to for somebody out there that they know that getting that degree might not be for them. Maybe they need to just go and get a trade, and try to get a loan. If they're a veteran, try to get a GA loan or whatever to start their own business. It's other ways that we can push our young black kings and queens out here to find a way for betterment of self as a people and as a culture. I needed you to
Mhm.
come on here because I have nieces and nephews, that are out here, that are trying to find their way and figure it out, and that have made some mistakes. None of us is perfect, but when they see people, and this is the thing that I love and I want our people to get, when they see people that look like us, that come from where we come from, because Antonita and we come from the south side of Chicago. We grew up in poverty. We grew up in
Right.
the
Right.
through that crack epidemic. I was a single mother. I know what it is. My
Right.
mom was a single mother for a while. So to, to be able to see people that look like us, to know that we made it, and that they say that they can do the same thing, gives them hope, because somebody gave us hope. And that is our
Yeah.
job and our
That's right.
duty
Mm.
as a people, as African Americans, to pass that legacy on to each other. Start within your household and your families first, and then you go abroad into the communities. We owe that to each other as a people. We owe that to our culture, to uplift. And that's why I told him, I says, I'm coming back. I'm going to patronize. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to be here. I'm
Right.
going to
Thank
be in
you.
your shop. Get me, get my barber. I told him, I said, so you my barber now. He was like, yeah. He was like, I said, okay, I'll be here every 2 weeks. I told the CJ I was going to announce to everybody I knew about his place of business. His young lady, I want to interview her too. She has her own beauty supply store. Because I believe that we should uplift. So, in closing, CJ, please tell us about your barbershop, where it's located, what your hours are. If you're looking for help, let everybody and all our listeners know all around the land about your barber lounge, as you call it, the spot.
I just wanted to touch on something you said just now. I think it's very important. I want to leave everybody with this message: is being authentic is okay.
Yeah.
I talked to you earlier about, my bio and stuff. I went home to change, and I was gonna put on a pair of dress pants and a tie, and I said, wait a minute,
Oh,
Be
wow.
yourself.
I need to
Be yourself.
come back and look
Yes,
like,
No, be yourself.
and I'm still intelligent. I can still have a conversation with anyone. So being
exactly.
authentic,
Mhm.
being true to yourself, it doesn't mean you got to change your voice or dress a certain way. It's
No,
okay to have locks.
no.
It's okay to have a bald head or a mohawk, whatever you want to have. Just make sure that you work just as hard, if not harder, than somebody else. That's what's really going to determine your success.
And you're
As
your
far as
own
the
boss,
shop,
so you don't have to have
yeah,
anyone telling you you can't wear your hair like that. You can't have them
right.
dreads. I want to cut them dreads out your head, or
Oh no,
you
oh
can't
no.
come to work with that on, or things like you. When you your own boss, you make your own rules and your own hours and all of that. And that's the inspiration that I want to give our young kings and queens when they look at people like CJ. So in closing, CJ, tell
Yeah.
us again about your business and everything and where it is and your hours and all of that, and any last words you want to say to your listeners and ours.
Okay. I just want to say again, thank you for having me. I'm so humble and appreciative of the opportunity, and I hope I see you all again or have me on for another discussion. If you want to talk about
Okay.
relationships, I'm just kidding. I'm not good at that stuff.
No, but we do that too. We do that too. You,
No, but we
you're more than welcome to come back to our platform.
thank you
Definitely.
so much. So we're a mile and a half north of downtown Chandler, Arizona, which is a suburb of Phoenix, located in the Food City Plaza. The address is 1017 North Arizona Avenue, Chandler, Arizona 85225. If you want to follow us on Facebook or Instagram, it's Spot, SPOT, B as in Bravo, L as in Lima. You see that phonetic alphabet I'm
Yeah,
using for the
I see it.
military?
I hear it.
Yes.
I hear it.
It's Spot BL1, Spot BL1 for Facebook and Instagram. So currently, right
Great.
now, we have 3 full-time barbers, 1 part-time. I have 6 chairs. We have a beautiful space. When you come in, you may hear some jazz music. You may get a mimosa. You may get some wine. You may get some water. We
Okay.
I
have a
like that.
really, really nice, friendly vibe.
It
We've
is
got
nice. I've been in there. I'm a witness to that.
we've got a reception area. We've
Oh,
got
okay.
nice seating. We've got 7 55-inch TVs. Besides that, all the aesthetics. We have people here that are like-minded. We're hungry. We're humble. We see homeless people walking by. We'll give them food. We'll give them money. We're trying to create a
That's
vibe,
what's up.
community, something that's real, something that's authentic. As far as hiring barbers right now, we are looking for some more barbers. You got to be on time. You got to work hard, and you got to be a part of a culture that isn't going to stop. We're going to do well, and I'm appreciative again of letting me shout out my company. I've got
Oh,
one of my barbers
absolutely.
right
Thank
here.
you very much, CJ.
Say
Is
hello.
that
Oh, okay.
hi?
That's
Hello. How are
Hey.
you?
that's TK.
How you
Hello.
Hi,
doing?
TK. How are
How
you?
you doing? I'm
How
good.
Nice to
are
meet
you?
you.
Nice to
You're
meet you
gonna
too
be
as well.
seeing me really soon. You're gonna be seeing me
Okay,
really soon. I
I'm
am
looking forward
I'm
to
a
it.
Uh,
customer now, so I will be coming in there at least every 2 weeks. But I want to get invited to the little party, CJ. The little champagne and whatever you said you were
Yes.
getting ready. You know I'm coming, right?
You gotta come, and once a month we're gonna have a DJ here as well on Saturdays. So
okay.
hopefully we can get some more coverage. But we will grow, and mark my words, the Spot Barber Lounge will be one of the premier shops nationally, not just locally, nationally. So we've got some work to
All
do, but we're
right.
gonna
I
get
have some. Before you go, CJ, I just want to tell you this one thing. You
there.
are the perfect, and you are the epitome. And I could just uplift you because of the program that I have is the motivational Look at Me campaign, where it is about people who have been through adversities. They've turned their life around. You are the poster board for that campaign. Look at me. Look what I came through. But you can make it. And that is something I used to advocate for. I used to go out, speak to young girls and young boys about that they can change their life no matter where you come from, no matter where walk of life you come from, no matter
Sis,
your academic or your financial background. That is what the Look at
sis,
Me
what did
campaign
I tell
is
you?
about.
What did I tell you when
That
I
got,
called you
I mean,
and
I've done
talked
that.
about
I've
this
done
young
that on
man?
a numerous occasion. Ty, let me tell you, CJ, we had a guy on here, Tyrone Muhammad out of Chicago. He's another inspirational person. He's doing big things in Chicago as well, as far as coming out of the prison system and giving back to the community, big time.
Yep,
So, we like to focus on people that's doing that. I can
yep.
relate. I do that on a day-to-day basis. I wish I could give back more. I don't have
Thank
enough money, but I wish I could. But my time and my commitment and my care and my love is it's worth more than millions of dollars
you.
if
Right.
we can just do that for each other.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
CJ,
Thank you.
listen, I'm here to help in any way I can.
Thank you.
Advocate for you, support you as a community advocate and leader, and now also a customer. And definitely, I want to wish you all the best in your
Yeah.
future endeavors and the success of your business, because
Thank you.
I'm
Right.
honored to be a part of that. I'm honored to tell people about it because we need to uplift each other in the communities. And I tell you, I didn't see any other black owned barber and beauty supply store in this area. And you were like a sight for sore eyes for me. So thank you. It was such a pleasure meeting you, King, and your queen. And
Thank
I look forward to us doing future business endeavors together as well. Some other things we talked about, but that's for another thing. But
you. Yes. Yes.
thank you for being uh, an inspiration for what young people need to see, and to know that what they can do, and that's what you
Thank you.
are. And
Yeah.
so thank you for that, and please keep up the good work. And we're going to bring you back at another time and talk about some other conversations and
Okay.
relationships if you want to and all that good stuff. But thank you
Okay.
so much. And you guys,
Thank you.
make sure you follow him. Make sure you go and support CJ and his place of business. If you ever in the Chandler, Arizona area, if you have family or friends, even if you may not even live there, but if you have family or friends that live there, tell them about CJ and the Spot Barber Lounge here in North Chandler, Arizona. Come and check him out and give a brother some business, because that's what it's about.
Hey man, that's a good thing.
Thank you
And
so much.
we'll see you soon. I'll see you soon, CJ. You take
Okay.
care.
Thank you. We'll be here. Thank you so much.
You
All
are
right.
welcome. You're more than
Yes.
welcome. Take care, King.
Thank you very
All
much.
right,
Queen.
guys. We're gonna
Okay.
we're gonna leave
Thank you.
our guests, and we thank you guys
You're
for
welcome.
tuning in. Yeah, we thank you guys for tuning in to the Truth Now Talk Show with me, Patrice Moncel, and myself, Antonita Lachey. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. We appreciate you guys joining us, tuning in. Like I said, I was a little winded earlier. I was a little in a different mood, but he kind of enlightened me a little bit. I
Uh,
always like to talk to my
he
fellow
was the
vets. You
inspiration,
know,
wasn't he?
um, I mean, I advocate for that. I look for people like that. That's all I seek. I don't seek anybody that is not about doing something for themselves and inspiring and inspire, because I do that. We do that.
Right.
I mean, so you want to connect with people that are like-minded like yourself. That's just
And
my
I was
take on
just
everything.
impressed because he's young, and they don't always have to be your
Oh yeah, it
blood.
starts young, but it
Just seeing
starts young. It starts
any
young,
young
sis.
black king or queen out here, we have to uplift them as older
Oh
people.
yeah,
But it was wonderful. We had a wonderful
yeah,
interview again. Thank you,
yeah,
CJ, and shout out to the Spot Barber Lounge in Chandler, Arizona, my new
yeah.
barber shop. So, sis, thank you. I appreciate
All
you
right, you guys.
as always. And we are going to sign off. This is your girl, Patrice Moncel. Thank you for tuning in to the Truth Now Talk Show on Hot 702.5 FM on your radio dial.
All right.
All right,
Peace.
sis. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.